Mr. Lynch lives all the night forever. Good morning, Mr. Massimo, so simple, Mr. Massimo, so simple. More simply, 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 more simply. Not the Lynch. It's February 1 or 1st, 2026. It's Sunday in Naples. Today it seems at the moment totally clear. Totally clear sky at the Genesis to Sinvest. Now, stiamo perhaps at the same time so with the wind cold and TV consider the video or viceversa. It's early afternoon, it's noon and 45 minutes. Ci 75 14 Celsius, really cold, knizi beers för classic adjective. Det är så för winter beer, så för jag säger det blir så effekt gente för jag sån June 17. Något factory för kan för jag så det passa att passam giornate esame att last passam så absolut non io mi follow mi factory last passam fi boy. Factory per kan för for essere di YouTube, now so for the winter come in particolare and to be sempre in particolare che si entri for entry in PM in Italy, aveva rapson uno mi fico poi so poi c'è un poi di I'm sure at twice the MBC così these things for the same but so sometimes I propose fact that we should do it's better perhaps tutto per me and I really should do in collaboration also for the spring summer new the fact that we spring so the soft for the summer reagent for the one second reagent soft so that in general for the service Kasi gadget ni sta for me was fino di esempio da assoluto incomplete but not in video sono sì perché it's winter it's cold so il secondo we complete ma tu una sintesi absolutely incomplete and mi riferisco o si riferisce to me in particular perhaps really for disappear or for in disappear fact I don't feel cold but I feel cold less then and the people thanks to stay so practice to practice I follow since and do since some ministry chose for the golden one come winter period about period I was وهذا كومنت من شكل سبينتها سباك نسي كيس بروتي تفكسو in first comment in the first part of this comment in Nasri so non si interessa non tutti i sura che si first part of this comment ripeto in Nasri ora non fosse la people fate fin con not in fact il corno late fin così ora noi si pensa tanto finché 95% fi cool o aveva in genere in some way for me also good still ma tascato situazione genere e finché che in sei sempre che just for me it's really good attrezzissimo so can be feel insomma scimo di sa Ingeri ja finché trembo si ripete just for fisicamente farente for tine Celsius but l'importante è che si ci vedi before today we have oh it's beautiful Spruskate in questa chance Manif sono otto video, a me fanno in genere in particolare questo terzo il piano di passi no sì, tre things for later nel came out sono in genere ripetete in particolare and as I saw no I think in 3 hours you should come out no less than 3 hours 2 hours and a half 40 minutes you should come out and so the first thing that now I'll sing for the same extract better refrain for a classical Napoleon song solo mio because I think it's became a habit of mine during the last summer so remember if you follow me back from past summer boy so ma tu sola più bello io solo mia davanti a te io sola mia davanti a te sì che sta in fronte a me davanti Yes, in fact, scusa se c'è lo strumento, si sia così, perché se ci c'è chiamato quindi toglie a brief, di sublime, se c'è una senza, indicanti attenzione, third thing, perché se sono ripetitivi, it's impossible, beautifully active, to kiss the scena, che si allora yes, until now, Tanzanian period, c'è verso, more than 3 months ago, e se sono la story of October, now before, it's factory from where I read بيعلنوا for now with them مثلا sky for other 4 hours and yes and a half also 20 minutes as maximum more or less in comparison to the reference è completely different rule well so is throwing with your winning new what 14 mini flowers long flowers mix with lens as usually no 14 sassa one magazine so birthday of brews partivo da birthday Ripeto, non si dicono le passage fanno infatti presso in cortino, si metti se ride, so che si fanno comments in come section, nelle come section nei video, ci should be, per te ne resta come forte come quando dammi si ride come section, non è più che ne ridi, si itano da situazioni, si sciatti in Airbnb, c'è un little in Koreas, si devi inflare, long flowers, mix in plants. Oh, if not, even better, cioè il better sono lasciati fare che first part of video which produce a show di YouTube, dovete scattare sincero, questo classico mitico room, classico mitico room, assume delle risorse dal mitico window, che era mitico room. No, from a broader perspective, also organizzate pratiche da shots in educazione certa film non interesse per scurtare before curting before the best perhaps also for this first routine lo storia with the party in front of exact this sure calare curting stili in come amici vicino one day sono in damage di Egitto e questo sì is shot so solidi to effect of when the reason che lo shoot lo so this but more when the reason che si measure una serie di test picture sentence so che si deve scurtare before curting before the best perhaps also che si per first routine and calare curting if funziona che si exactly and now I see it also I see it I led or see it for the tutti suoi but repeat the expression also for first time cioè as in little speech sentences si dice but also and always better visible for me in its entirety in its shot at this point si mitico leggenda shot Ricordate che lo shooter in attivism tanto mistake attivism festival sottobrevete it's important to me it's important to also do in activism not see that this special sentence so for the cortina sofferito so repeat once again but also and always better visible for me needs entirety limits shot anticipanti si mitico la gente shot and finally from a medical keyboard NGX 40 PG PG 625 also si che si smil già shot getting into people of Los Angeles getting a tour sono bene system myself trust the skills and finally I hope you will get breakfast today it's late in general also massive come si late in France if not at all because in fact some meeting in September 31 it took cash for this time it's late in general the people and above all for the record but not at all in fact for me also kind of normality we make breakfast this hours in Sibia it's late or non yes but above all important that si fa io for record ci semana street was stare in fact breakfast fientene film di stare street fientene Roberto drinking milk fientene parte in metti sposi si finca tre record si record semana street su stare tipo I repeat close the record little sonas si semana not as I just before, more than yes, it's just roll up just in quote noon 45 minutes. Matta, io praticamente cioè, se andai sette insieme a me, col suo dei forte tutto so, I'm brilliant. And that's we don't miss a say. Ecco fa sono most brilliant for absolutely. As you know, since questo modello it should be more than 1 year. Participante, lo sto considering perché ex formulisa fai, but se it should be it's but also perhaps a new reason, but more series for ex formulisa. It was the fifth and the reports, the beautiful red, black, and white, slightly different model in comparison with the previous. All things that perhaps no we follow me, particular factor phrase with the report, think body. Vabbè, Mattias Rivit dice ci limite nel time di Pio, ma I promise you to one day or one time sono in termini 50 su 4 presidenti di just losing these things or in this speech and for the time shot bisogna iniziare a giocare su tutto il mazzomania iniziamo con suo for the bisco sarà mai favorite fact la mia visual comes to be bisco stess ti finca tu nel mezzo fanti mezzo can stare chocolate chip cookies or the cookies chip chocolate chips and if I to say what's the biscuits and metallic but in particolare I think serve di sei ore da this first one but to make constitution so what it's about films but also as quick shock and focus a seconda data finish shot fragment video da shot and if I think 7 months 8 months se si chiede lo sto conci da TV sono in terzo pezzo su better was the money is quick to finish now there is one second so brought it one second 270 days so si chiede lo sto conci video di time di sono in terzo pezzo su better and since that moment I part insert or that day I part insert it once in the milk so very good news non è di sauce effecting the black fast questa bomba sta in particolare mega bomba se si sa spiro c'è uso quello che basta mania sotto corso mi figo questa mega di video e pensiamo non so se toll ni questa breakfast questa mega bomba e se continua se qualsiasi è inferabbio si essere da con ragazzi ragazzi mi sa sempre questa posizione perhaps se sei voi dipende in generale perché si presa posizione ma c'è sempre questa posizione mi cosa? Attraverso la posizione d'Italia per mandare ciò che ci passa. Fa così, a trovare come una matura. Because they are really super bad. Sì, tumore, poi si fanno perché non il tumore tutto quello lì. Ma ora sì. The better if it's not visible sunshine, I now see two things, or better be two things for last time, two things that just before. The things are affected, surely Scientific will be not only a beautiful leader, so much Scientific and that's it's impossible. A beautiful like so to kiss it. Once again.